Uh.
Wait, are we test recording or are we actually recording?
Yeah.
We're good now. We're live. All right. Hello and welcome.
Welcome.
Hello everyone and welcome to the 100th episode of Radio Rothingham, where I, MrsCurlyStyles, will be the host today. My co-hosts are Tally, Sonic,
Hello.
Noodle, Memeius, Leadstar, Largo, and Cat.
Hello.
How are you all?
I'm pretty good.
Groovy.
Different.
That's awesome. So what's up? What's going on?
Well, all right. So, do you have the list of all the topics we're gonna cover today, or
Yes,
save it?
I do.
Okay.
Yes.
We're good. Well, we can start by doing some small introductions of probably the more known folk here. Then we'll go to the bottom of the barrel folk,
me.
like Cat. Yeah, there you go. Cat knows his place.
Damn right I do.
All right, so we'll start with you, Curly. I guess you just give a little quick description of your work and how you pretty much what you do and whatnot.
Yeah, sure. Well, I started art ever since 4 years ago. I've been progressing, and honestly, I've only ever just traced once to learn, but then I found out that this was not the best option. So I decided to ask my artist friends for help. So here I am today, still drawing, and yeah, pretty much. I've
So
been
where
in the
do you
MLB.
see yourself?
Where
Sorry,
what?
Keep going.
No. Okay. I've been in the My Little Pony fan base for almost 6 or 7 years, I must say. It's been pretty great. I've been watching the episodes and catching up, and right now it's season 8. So yeah.
Okay, that's good. All right, so Curly, where do you see yourself in let's say 20 years when it comes to your artwork? Are you gonna keep doing this or what?
I'm not 100% sure. I can't guarantee. I'd probably say that since I'm studying interior design, I think it's going to take over my art career, and it's going to kind of disturb it in a sense. So that's why I feel like I'm not going to be doing art for very long, I'm afraid.
Yeah. All right, that's fair enough. Anything else you want to add? Little any parting words before we move on?
No, sure. You guys can go on.
All right. Next on the list here, Noodle.
See, you have an issue here. I'm supposed to be at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, you're right. My bad.
Unless you want me to try.
All right. Sonic, you're next.
Yeah. So Sonic, tell us what do you think about the MLP fan base?
Whoa, before
Hey,
that.
let me introduce myself first.
Boy, wait a second.
Let me introduce myself first. I want to do that.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I was getting at there. Go.
Hello, my name is Sonic Boom, or just Sonic. That's my nickname. I am mostly a gamer, less of an artist, and pretty much the only person in the entire world who likes the cartoon Johnny Test.
Johnny Test was pretty good.
It was okay.
Yeah, it's the best anime of all time.
Excuse me, princess.
Anyway, yeah. Start with the questions, Curly.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask if, what do you think about the MLP fan base? Do you have any objections? Do you prefer if the new generation was eliminated? Tell us your thoughts.
Well, I'm 50-50. First off, it's as toxic as the Steven Universe and Undertale fandom can get, and the other side can create some amazing content like Living Tombstone or Jan Animations. Or at least what it used to be. Which, speaking of which, I do apologize for this, but Jan Animations is creating original content. You should totally see his new stuff. I apologize for the free advertising.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't watch MLP that much. I just wait for it to appear on Netflix. Which, yes, that should reveal that I am not watching season 8 at all until it comes out on Netflix. Although I am free to see any clips that get illegally posted on YouTube.
Okay.
Also, before anyone asks, one of my favorite main sixes is none of them because they all suck.
Oh God. Okay.
Fuck the system.
Anyway, what's the next question, Curly?
So yeah, what do you think about the artists who use tracing as a way of learning? This is a question for all of you, not only Sonic. I'm curious to know, actually.
Well,
I think it's better to ask that later, as we can just
Yeah,
keep
it's
with
a little
the
too soon
introductions.
for that
It's a
question.
good ass question.
Yeah,
though.
we're still doing the introductions, but you're doing good though. You're doing good.
Okay, sure.
anything else?
All right, Sonic. Anything else you wanna? What? Oh, questions. Yes, yes. So what is your favorite tablet to use?
Well, so far I am using a Wacom Intuos Pro pen tablet, but I am saving money for. Just give me a few seconds to bring up my Amazon list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Always
yeah,
have it
please.
on hand.
But yeah, I'm currently using a Wacom tablet, but I'm hoping to save up for an Artist 13.3 IPS 13.3-inch drawing monitor pen display graphics drawing monitor.
Sweet.
Uh-huh.
Oh crap! It looks like it's to Mac. Crap! I gotta search for a new one. Yeah, because I'm sorry guys, but screw Mac. Windows destroys that.
Well, let's not get into that now, shall we? Anyway, so yes. So what about your tablet? Do you draw? What do you do?
Well, what I do is I was very good at pencil and paper drawing. I'm still pretty good at it. And what I usually do is I just draw it. I take a picture of it. I basically take it to Photoshop and then line it, and then I color it. Although I'm hoping to do some collabs with some artists, but it's been pretty hard since I'm not exactly popular. But however, I mostly do gaming rather than art. So I mostly stream on Twitch with Picardo, but every once in a while I do like to draw.
Oh, all right. Games, you say.
Mhm.
What's your favorite games to play?
What's the game that you've been playing recently?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Well, there are mostly games. The games I mostly play are from Steam because PC Master Race.
Yes, indeed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Although I don't mind some console games. Mostly Steam games. I do like indie games because I think it's a good way to show that even talented individuals can make amazing games rather than slightly retarded big AAA companies.
You mean like small
Or
good
EA.
artists and such?
Yeah, or EA. And the games I love the most are platformers, especially 3D, puzzle games, RPGs. But my most favorite video game of all, and will never change, is Psychonauts. It may be an old game, but it is definitely a memorable cult classic.
Indeed.
And by the way, I'm hearing the sequel is coming out next year.
Oh, it is.
It is?
Oh yeah, I read about that actually.
Yes, and yes, and also there's a VR game that was released last year. You should check it out.
I hope to God they don't mess this one up.
Yeah, well,
Like, we made Psychonauts 2, and they just line it. They just like smother it with microtransactions.
indeed.
Oh, that would suck.
Then the Fire Nation.
Okay, everyone, please do your part to keep EA away from that game, please.
Okay.
Yes. It's
Okay,
like sorry for cutting in, but it's like me with Bad Company 3. Like it's a game I've been waiting for a long titty time, but right now I don't want EA anywhere near Bad Company 3. I don't want them to make this game because they are going to ruin it.
Anyway, by the way, on the topic of video games, before I ended, I used to be into Sonic games. I don't know why, but just something about them appeals. But after recent times, I've been not so much interested. But I still believe that a good Sonic game can be eventually made once Sonic Team and Sega sort out their own. Yeah. Well, that was mostly a fan game, but hopefully supported by fans. It wasn't actually made by the original company, Sonic Team, but it was. I still have hope for Sonic. I'm just hoping that he can get fixed up. But yeah. Anyway, used to be a Sonic fan.
Yeah.
Anyway, anything else?
Yes. Well, who's next? Tally, we'd like to ask you a question.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
So, you said that you had a Cintiq. You have a Cintiq. Am I correct?
I do actually. It's a Cintiq 13 HD. It's the older model, not the newer model. And like I said before, it's pretty much like alien technology to me. I have no idea how to work this thing, but I'll probably get it down eventually.
Why is it difficult for you to use it?
Because of the whole multi-display settings and how weird it is. Because it's like having a separate display, so you kind of have to configure your displays a bit. Because I can drag something from my main monitor to the Cintiq monitor, and it's really weird because when I do that, everything's out of proportion. Because I have a 1440p monitor, so anything that's bloated on this monitor, when I put it onto the Cintiq, it is 3 times the size. So it does not shrink to the proportions I needed on that 1080p monitor. So it's really weird. I don't know. I'll get it down eventually.
Tell us about yourself.
Yes, yeah. So I started off back in midsummer of 2011. Not when I was born, but when I first started to get into like the community, like MLP fandom, it was still pretty young. Like at the time, we still had Ponyboru instead of Derpyboru. Yeah, that was quite the sad day when that site went to hell and went to pony hell. But yeah, I started off drawing landscapes, mostly scenery kind of artwork. It was mostly traditional, pastels, charcoal. A lot of that
you used
stuff
charcoal?
Awesome.
Wow, you never showed us.
Oh, I love charcoal. Oh, I love charcoal. It's such a mess. I liked getting dirty with the charcoal. White charcoal was the best charcoal. Nothing, I'm implying anything there, but it actually did work to highlight certain areas that were kind of too dark. But yeah, after a while, I went to college, and I ended up getting into some trouble with college. So what happened was that I got kicked out and whatnot. Well, not really kicked out. They said I was on hold because they put my student aid on hold, and I couldn't come back to the college till I paid them. By the way, it was illegal.
Illegal on their part.
Huh?
Illegal on their part.
Yeah, they put my student aid on hold, and they told me, "Hey, give us $3,000 and we'll let you back in." I was like, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not gonna do that. You guys can go squirt yourself. I'll be on my jolly way." So what happened was I ended up, I lost my job as well. So I was like, I gotta find a way to make a living here because I'm gonna be, I'll be a Squidward in that fucking episode where he doesn't want to have a job and he's like out in the fucking, just out living as a hobo. I don't want to do that. So I was like, I'm gonna use my art skills to actually make profits out of my art because at the time I was highly against making money from my artwork, like commissions and whatnot. I was highly against that. So I decided, hey, I have no other choice. So let's use the money I have to buy a tablet and start drawing digital artwork. And the first artist that I actually ran into that I really, really loved and enjoyed was John Hoseko. John Hoseko, Avante, 92, Mega Sweet, the classic guys from back in the day. Who else? Mega Sweet.
Kevin Sano?
Yeah, Kevin Sano. I think he came in a little later though. But yeah. So how I pretty much got around to the whole art thing was I pretty much traced. I know it's kind of like it was in the union tracing. Oh, that's bad. But honestly, at the time I had no experience when it came to drawing human anatomy. So I use a lot of their artwork as reference to trace and what. And these, of course, were not commissioned work. These are my own personal works. So I use their works to pretty much learn, anatomy of the arms, the torso, the basic anatomy stuff. And eventually, I got to the point where I could draw without needing to use them their work as references. And I eventually developed my own style, and from then on forth, I pretty much started doing commissions and whatnot. So it's been quite a while now. I think I started back in 2013 doing digital artwork, and I've been doing it ever since. But yeah, that's when it comes to my artist background. That's pretty much it. Anything else you want to ask?
No, that's
pretty
good
cool.
to know about you. Yeah, I'm really interested that you got from traditional to digital, and now you're in digital. Do you like digital or traditional?
Yeah, sometimes I kind of feel ashamed of myself for not going back to traditional. But the thing is, I don't have the tools to do that anymore. I don't have the proper mindset to do that. I mean, I probably can get it back, but by the time I do that, it'll just be too much time wasted on things I could have done. Efforts I could have put into something else. But yeah. Any other questions?
No.
You sure about that?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Are you sure about that? All right. What about you, Noodle? You got a question for me?
Mm-mm.
Come on, you're hiding it. Come on, tell me.
Deep.
What are you, Kat?
Oh, me? I'm not at
anything?
I'm at the absolute bottom of the barrel. I'm very last in this.
No. But you can ask me though. You can fucking scream. You can scream.
Oh, I thought it was
you can
my
fucking
turn.
scream at me. Just tell me.
He was scared for a
Why do
second.
you like birds so much?
Why
do you like birds so much?
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's a fair question. I think for some reason Gilda back in the day really speak to me in a way. I don't know because this is back in season 1, season 2, where we didn't really see any other characters that weren't fucking ponies. I got into birds because it was kind of like me trying to be different. Because when my first OC was actually a Pegasus OC, and I was like, oh yeah, this is cool now. But then what happened was that every living human being, every individual decided to make the same fucking copy-pasted Pegasus OC, Pegasi OC. And I was like, I can't. I'm going to get flooded with all these generic Pegasus OCs, and I won't stick out. And I was like, what can make me stick out? Oh, yeah, Griffin OC. Those weren't really that common. I mean, at the time, there was only, 2 that I knew of. So I decided to make a Griffin OC. However, my OC, people always say, oh, it's a copy-paste of Gilda. And I was like, no, actually it was inspired by a comic that I saw of that had Gilda's father in it. And I really liked that scruffy, that big beak kind of physique. So I made a Griffin OC using that as a reference. Originally, my OC was a guy, but thanks to Facebook, I got zucked into having a transgender procedure. Yeah. Facebook didn't like the name I had, which is Talon. They told me, oh, hey, yeah, we don't like your name. You need a more female name to be more streamlined with the current political climate. And I was like, okay, fuck it. I'll do Talisa. Why not? And I was like, a guy can't have this name, so I might as well just fucking, pretty much castrate him. Get rid of the dick. You may make him a girl. There you go.
Wow, they were actually assuming a gender.
Escalated quickly.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's the story behind me and birds. Also, I really like birds. I growing up in tropical paradise. I had all sorts of fucking retarded, magnificent birds.
I've always liked to squeeze birds for some reason. I don't know why. They're just squishable pets. Not really in a hard way. Come on, man. I like petting or That
birds. Curly's
any other questions?
Favorite thing.
No.
All right.
Okay.
Creepy.
I guess I'm good here for now.
All right, Memeius, start.
Hey.
How long have you been starting art?
I've been taking art seriously for about 1 year now. Been
That's
going
amazing.
to an art school that doesn't teach me art at all, so I kind of have to learn everything by myself. So I have been doing some tracing here and there by myself to learn how the body works and such. So I'm a male, so you can't misgender me now.
Watch me.
white male master race, and don't take me on that.
But yeah,
And
so
watching
like,
anime,
do you have any
going to
characters that you
Japan,
like
such.
in drawing? You know,
Repeat that.
like, do you have any characters that you like anime characters? No.
It is. There has never been like one single character. It's been very different between years.
Mm.
Trying to
So,
create
like,
my own
watch
stuff.
Naruto?
Watch.
Did you ever watch Naruto?
No,
Fucking
why
love
would I?
Naruto.
What?
I don't wanna
I was
waste
just
my
curious.
life,
I don't know
okay?
why I took you as a
Oh, the
person.
burns.
I don't know why I took you as a person that would watch Naruto and be
You know,
interested in it. You,
Sorry for interrupting, but one time I actually got sucked in the face by some kid who was running down the hallway back in high school. This kid was running down that hallway like the Naruto run.
Oh
I
no!
told him, "You're not Naruto," and he fucking sucked me in the face. And he told me, "I'm not Naruto. I am Sonic."
what in the what the hell?
Deep.
What the hell? Oh my god. No. You serious?
I let him off. I was like, "Yeah, that's fair enough. You're right. You're Sonic, not Naruto. How can I have been so blind?"
Also, you're not Sonic.
I never knew that Sonic ran that way.
You've never been a Sonic fan?
I have. Heck,
Of course you have. Why is your name Sonic? Alright,
You know what, I
but
don't
yeah,
know.
so
I don't know. I'm trying to make it a better
What?
name.
alright.
Okay.
No, I wanted to ask Memeius something else. So, do you like anime shows that have like a deep story behind them? Do you like them that
Yeah,
being, I don't know,
I like more like the general plot, not the plots. You know. Okay. Yeah, I like
Mhm.
deep stories and deep characters and such.
Uh-huh.
But
That,
probably should move on and such to the next one. We're using a lot of time.
mm-hmm.
So
But do you
get
suggest any anime for us to watch?
Yeah, please suggest any anime-mes to watch.
I'm just curious because, like, I don't know. I feel
ReZero.
you're the type of
ReZero.
person that
ReZero.
really.
Yes.
Why? Why?
Because it's fucking awesome. Okay.
Tell us
Alright.
more. Tell us more. Tell us
Fair
more.
enough.
Like, tell us
if
about
I
it. I want to know just a bit about it, like a synopsis. Or,
Okay,
I don't
okay,
know,
okay.
anything.
Imagine you're in a you end up in a fantasy world. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you get a special power that you get like checkpoints like in games and such.
Mm-hmm.
And now imagine that your life is just about suffering and death.
Oh God.
ReZero, thank you.
All right.
This sounds so awesome. You should link
Yeah.
it like soon. I really want to watch it.
I'll link
I'm
it
serious.
out.
Yeah. All right. Sorry to interrupt, but if we're talking about anime real quick, I gotta put in my little 2 cents here. I think the best anime I have ever watched that, well, not the best one, but the one that kind of took me to a whole new level of human misery had to be this one anime called Heaven's Lost Property. What's funny about this anime was I found it on Netflix one night. I was looking for a titty anime to watch, and I was like, oh wow, this one looks it has like the blatant the sexy big tit girls as the cover. I was like, oh shit, we're gonna watch this because it has to be a titty anime. It won't lie to me, right?
When you start to watch porn and you suddenly find
Yeah,
out
I was like,
that's
oh,
the plot.
Hentai ecchi for real, guys. Come on.
All right. So what happened
Come
was
on. We could do
what
better
happened
than that.
was
Come on.
I watched this, and halfway through watching the first season, I was like, something is wrong here.
Mhm.
Something is very wrong. Why do these characters have character development happening? Why do they actually have actual motivations to what they're doing? What's going on here? I thought it was a generic, ecchi animes, but by the end of it all, I was crying, screaming, because I was like, this anime lied to me. It lied to me. I wanted big titties. What it gave me was big emotions I didn't want to feel. I was I was lied to. This advertisement was deceiving.
Deep feelings, yes.
It was like for example, the movie that came out, like the main character of the show, he finally finds someone that he loves dearly, right? And it turns out that girl that he is in deep in love with was a weapon created to kill him. Now he has to kill her.
Well, thanks to
Yeah, it was like, what the fuck?
Oh gosh, that sounds tragic.
Yeah,
I should
yeah,
tell
but
you
it
that.
was
Let's move on.
it was pretty
Oh,
brutal.
yes.
Hello, Largo. How are you?
Hi. I exist.
What's up?
That's good.
What's up?
You know,
So-
I'm drinking my tea and stuff.
You like tea?
best story.
I think I'm kind of like a tea drinker. I
Mhm.
I have
Tea
some
or
like
cold
I
tea?
why would everyone why would what? Why wouldn't you drink tea that's cold? That's like
Iced
disgusting.
tea.
That's like
Mm.
ew.
That's
I'm
more of
sorry.
an
Wait,
American
ew.
thing. I love iced tea.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, iced
Why
tea is
do you guys
good,
don't
but
like
I,
iced
I,
tea?
Iced tea is
I
so
don't
good.
It's
really
made
wanna
very
drink.
differently. It's made very differently.
Can I
Also,
say
cold
something?
tea happens a lot at work. You're making yourself a tea, and then you're concentrated. An hour later, you're like, "Shit, I made tea."
Did anyone have that crazy cousin that snorted iced tea off the countertop?
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody had the one with salt.
Beats the whole school day.
Your families are fucked up.
All right, but yeah, Largo. So you said you like tea, but what about coffee? What do you think about coffee?
I don't really drink that much coffee, and I don't know anything about coffee. Like you could give me like $78,000 coffee and like $50 coffee, and I would not be able to tell a difference, like no at all. With the
Best
tea,
way
I'm
to
actually
tell,
kind of
yes.
snobbish, and like I know my green teas, and like I would get some special matcha tea just from
Mhm.
Japan and stuff like that. That costs like way too much for like F&B.
I love
amount
tea.
to
I
spend
love
on
tea. I
our
love matcha.
tea.
Mhm. Mhm.
But yeah, like the coffee, I drink some coffee sometimes, but it's very like no, not that much. Like I don't,
Not
I'm
always.
not like. It's like sometimes I feel like I want a coffee, but it's not something I would really like to drink.
Oh, that
Mm.
reminds me of when I was in Tokyo, and I couldn't read Japanese, and I hate coffee, so I
Mhm.
thought I was buying tea. I was wrong. It was like bottled coffee, and I hate the
That's
bitter
unfortunate.
taste. I thought it was tea because the tea and coffee bottles looked like just the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the bitter surprise.
Ugh.
That's
But
very
yeah, tell us
unfortunate.
about yourself, Largo.
Yeah.
Let's hear.
So I am a human, and I
You see.
exist.
Yes.
And
Deep.
yeah, we are talking
Yeah.
about art. So I was very into art when I was very tiny child, and then
Very.
when I was very tiny child, as like 10 or something, I was so good that by some contest I was accepted to the like I was guaranteed a place in art high school, but then I was like, fuck it, I'm not interested in art. And then I'm here, and I'm actually an artist. As that's like I do designs and illustrations and stuff like that because that's what happens when you don't want to do art. You end up doing some.
Doing art
Um,
anyway.
Yeah, it's like it was like always following me, because like I would at the time when I was like in the very end of my high school, I would have like so much free time because obviously I wasn't studying for my like final exams. So I started to draw again because I was living in the I was in a like in the board school, like I was like wasn't living at home. I was like living in the dormitory. So it was like, well, there's nothing to do here, so I might as well buy some drawing supplies and start to draw again. And yeah, so like I got back to it. Then I was like studying something totally unrelated to art, but I was still like arting from time to time. And then apparently like people saw my art and they were like, hey, we want you to work for us. And I was like, okay. And yeah, that's it. That's my art story.
Nice.
So what are you doing now?
So I have a contract with like a group of YouTubers. That's like very, very, very disgusting job. But like I designed the like merchandise for different YouTubers and like make them like art for their thumbnails and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And draw like watermelons that apparently are not watermelony enough, and then I have to redraw them, and that's like such
That's
joy.
really boring.
Traumas.
What YouTubers
I
are
mean,
those?
those are Polish YouTubers that you are probably not familiar with. Like, let's just say, like, we are talking about 1 million subs category of Polish YouTubers that do Minecraft and stuff like that, that I'm not interested in at all. But
Yeah, I've probably heard of them.
Oh, you're Polish.
Yeah, I am.
That's cool. Where are you from in Poland? Like, you from Warsaw? You?
No, I'm like in like total middle of nowhere that no one heard about. I like.
So you're from Eastern Poland.
No, I'm actually from West Poland, but like literally middle of nowhere.
I would expect that going to the West Poland side would be more like civilization-ish, because the more east you go, the more fun things get.
Obviously, but like even here we have like those like spots that like no one heard of, and like the closest like town I have here is like 4,000 people. So like, you know, like
it's the same here.
What sort of things are there to do in Poland?
Do you have to deal being assaulted with hard base by Slavs?
What?
Do you have to deal with hard base on a daily basis?
No, but I squat a lot.
Oh, okay. So it's not a myth. It's not like something that was made up by the internet. People actually listen to hard bass over there.
Probably. I mean, I don't think it's like as much like Polish thing as it is like Russian thing. But definitely, if you go east, like the closer you are to Russia, probably there are more people there. Because, like I said, when I was living in the like when I was going to the high school, the girl that was with the room with me was from like was from a region that was very close to the Russian borders, and yes, she like had the best music to listen to. I was enjoying it a lot.
Oh, that's good. That's good. You ever thought about going elsewhere? Visiting other countries?
I actually lived in Germany for a few years.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and pretty much like
Did you like it there?
What?
Did you like it there?
In many ways, yes.
Nah, Germany sucks.
Hey!
It depends, because like for example, like where I lived, there was like a lot of people that was like immigrants. So I wasn't like ever like I was like, okay, we understand you, but like whenever I would go somewhere where there was more German people, then like there are some stereotypes about Polish people that are not very nice. So yeah, so like
you are nice.
I am very nice. That's true. Well, like
Humble brag.
I'm not a humble person. Why would I be? I mean, I'm me. Like I deserve all the praise.
Yeah.
When
it comes to Polish, there's only one thing I know, and that is kurwa.
Kurwa
is the only Polish word I know.
No. Oh, can I tell a story? Because like
yes, of course.
I have this one like friend. He's like twitching a lot. He's one of those people that I actually made a lot of like designs for, and he was like streaming some game. I don't, but he was streaming on the German server because he didn't want to like people from Poland to start to like find him on the map and like kill him for fun, because like that's not fun to watch if someone is killing over and over. And they found this one German guy, and they explained to him like, hey, we are like Polish streamers and we are streaming that we have like the 500 people watching us, and he's like, oh, you're from Poland. I know one Polish word, and my friend doesn't really like swearing on his channel, but he's like immediately like, no, don't say that, don't say that. And then this German person is like skarpetki, and that means socks in Polish. And we were like, so, but like, why would that be the only Polish word you know? It's socks. That makes no sense. But yeah, that was very nice. So yeah, the thing about the word that you use, I really hate that word. I never use it, even though I swear a lot. I would never say that word.
Just like in Arabic, how they say that one word always, like everybody who's talking to me and telling me, oh, I know this one word in Arabic, and my friends in class, because they're Arab, and they say it, and I'm just like, no, please don't say it, and they say the word, it's a bad word. I don't know if I want to.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to do it.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Please. Please don't. Yeah, but anyways, it's just so bad. Like,
can I say a
thing? No, what? Yes? What is it, Sonic?
I'm currently streaming. Can we multi?
Of course, sure. I'll invite you in a bit. So anyways,
we need to move on.
Yeah, so yeah, sure, okay. What about you, Led? What's up? Introduce yourself, Led.
Are you?
I am the Leadstar. I am from the Germans.
The German.
Yeah, I'm from Germany. I started art a few years back, something like in middle school, but I dropped out recently because my tablet is broken since something like a year or 2 years, and I kind of dropped out of the pony fandom too. I think I stopped in the beginning of season 4 or something like that. But I'm kind of moving along here, talking to a lot of people, still talking to a lot of artists and friends I met back then. Yeah, still having a lot of fun in the community, though I'm not really in it myself.
So back when you were in the fandom, I'm curious to know, are there any artists that you looked up to?
Yeah, I think one of the first ones was called Vertex. And some guy, he's not that known, is called Omnifob. I met those two guys pretty early on. And Rainbow Sprinkles, of course, don't forget Rainbow Sprinkles.
Is it Rainbow Screen or Rainbow Sprinkles?
No, I'm friends with Rainbow Screen too. She's actually not far away. She lives something like 30 kilometers away from me. But yeah, those were kind of the first ones I met, and I got friends with them. And I think that mainly was the reason why I stayed in the fandom for so long.
Nice. I haven't even been in fandom though.
How dare you? Though I still have posters and I still have figures on my shelf. It's not completely gone, and I'm thinking about maybe dropping by and getting in again. But it's so much to watch.
Sorry, if I can add to that, honestly, I really, I mean, if you're gonna watch it just to enjoy it, yeah, that's a good thing. But honestly, the way things are going with that fandom, it's not really a good, in my opinion. I mean, from what I've seen, it's because now they've announced what, Generation 5 now. And I'm thinking to myself, why would you refresh an entirely new generation when your last generation is still doing pretty well? I don't know. I feel like it's going to alienate a lot of people. Not sure.
Because it's, as you said, refreshing it. Why would you? How do I say? Why would you produce a new Call of Duty game while the last one is still played?
That's true.
Well, no. The thing is, it would be like you know, having your generic Call of Duty game one year, then the next game of Call of Duty is a real-time strategy Call of Duty game. You know, you kind of changing the formula here a bit.
Yeah, that's kind of strange.
Yeah, like for example, they're changing the roles now. Applejack is a hood pony. living in
The fuck?
the slums of the city.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
Everybody's like
Wait,
freaking
hold
out
on.
about Applejack. So
Wait,
weird.
hold on. She went from Kentucky all the way to Detroit.
Yeah, she went from being a Kentucky country girl to downtown Detroit hooligan.
Wow,
Wow.
That's awful.
Yeah, they're
Gotta keep up with
changing
the
the
trends, I
roles, and I'm
guess.
like, you're just gonna. That's just, these characters that a lot of people have loved for years now. You're completely destroying them. Also, the voice actors are all gone now. They're all gonna be replaced by different voice actors. It's just going to alienate whatever is left of the fandom, and it's just pretty much gonna be the last on the coffin.
A thought I initially have is because, well, as you said, most of the people enjoyed these characters so long, and they're trying to fit these characters now since the not the community, but social life of people have changed. They try to put these characters into this new set of minds younger people have, and
Yeah.
hope that they still, on top of that, can get the people which are used to the characters, though the personalities are changing.
Yeah, I think they're doing it because they know that children do not watch this anymore. Children have no like for example, Toys R Us is a good example. Children just don't want things that children used to want. They're trying to appeal to an audience that's slowly decaying. So I think they're trying to move on to the next big thing, and that would be a more older audience. But I think they're going about it the wrong way. I mean, the older audience like the show. That's the only thing keeping the show alive. It's the older audience, and they like something about it.
But you also gotta remember people do move on. So
yeah. I was thinking, like back in the day, I knew eventually this was gonna happen. Back in the day, I was like, the best thing to do was to make a more mature spin-off series. I mean, Equestria Girls, that came around. I was like, oh no, what are you doing, Hasbro? It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Equestria Girls, I did kind of enjoy it a little bit here and there, but I was hoping for more of a spin-off series within the actual Pony universe, like having a storyline from some other characters in some other part of the planet that we have no idea existed. That would have been really interesting, and making it more mature, in contents. That would have been really great. But no, they just, the writing is awful as well. Sorry, you gotta add to the writing.
Wait, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Okay. Do you mean to say that you would like a spin-off story of something like a page out of the Lion King, Lion King, the 1.5, where there's a side story where stuff happens on the sidelines of the original show?
Yeah, that'd be pretty interesting.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, that was what I actually had in mind at first. I was like, oh, they're probably gonna, later on do a spin-off series that's kind of like that, where you have different characters you never knew existed that were just there in the background, and they had their own storylines and whatnot. That would have been really interesting to see. But honestly,
do you know what I predict? I predict that if you ask the fans if that would be a good idea, do you know which characters they would automatically say?
What?
Octavia, Vinyl, Dr. Hooves, Derpy, Lyra, and Bonbon.
Yeah, no, that's no.
No. They would instantly ask for that.
Yeah, the point of the spin-off series, in my opinion, would be to get away from that. Try something new. Give new characters that people have never heard of. They didn't even know existed.
Why do you think that should happen? Why?
Well, it's not going to happen now. It's not.
I mean, no. I mean, like, why? No. Why do you think that? Like, if, like, for example, since the new season, the new generation, they're having new voices. Why do you think it's a problem? I don't know. I feel that this is what you're thinking right now. That it's a problem to have new voices for the new character. Is it like?
Oh, it's not.
Is it gonna kind of corrupt the image, the characters in
No.
general? Do you think like different?
No, like I said, it's gonna alienate the fans that already, like the show for years on end. It's gonna make them feel uncomfortable, like you're giving them something that they didn't ask for. I'm pretty sure a couple of them will like it, but from what I'm looking at, the more older audience has been around the show for longer.
Personally, I think.
Yes.
Personally,
No,
personally, I think it's better if we give them. I think it's better if we give the fans something that they don't expect, but they will eventually like. Because my problem with fandoms is that they have this tendency to ask for something that they already have. If you ask them what they want, and that goes nowhere. If you give them something they don't want, but it turns out to be, well, technically you run the risk of it being good or bad to them, but at least you're trying something new.
Yes.
And
yes.
and in fact, that's one of my main problems with Kickstarter. People don't know what they want until they ask for it, and if you ask what they want, that want what we already have.
Yeah.
So
me. Yes,
like I said before, like fandoms are like the working class. If you can't control them, they will plot to destroy you. You need to control them.
Can I get my opinion?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Noodle. What are your thoughts?
So I'm extremely ignorant about the whole My Little Pony fan base and all that, but in my honest opinion, I don't think it really should matter whether the fans think of it or not, because it's not really marketed towards adults. Whether you like want to like perceive it if it's marketed towards adults or not, because by the end of the day, their main focus is kids and marketing and sales.
Yeah.
So it's like whether or not you want a good story or good characterizations, and if it does happen, that's good. But if it doesn't happen, you can't really blame them, because this franchise has always been, built around that.
Yeah. Like I said about Star Wars. Like it's like same thing with Star Wars. Like people complaining about it and like about Disney and EA kind of ruining it. Well, look at it from their perspective. They don't see Star Wars as they don't like it. They don't hate it. They see it as a tool of profit. MLP to Hasbro is a tool of profit. However, I will have to add though, their latest numbers do show that kids are just not interested in watching these shows anymore. They're not.
No one's caring anymore. No. Everybody, like I said before, people are moving on and they're gonna go for something else really in the end, and that goes for both adults too. Some people just don't care anymore.
The mindset itself has really changed for kids. But like when I remember what I watched, it was like being like 6 to 8 to 10. Like I still watched something like cartoonish, but now it's just like Zack and Cody or Drake and Josh. It's way
Drake and Josh.
Drake and Josh. It's way less cartoonish.
I love
Drake and Josh. Oh man, that show. It's a classic.
That's a good show. Megan.
Indeed. Okay. Sorry. Before we get off topic again, let's continue with the questioning, because right now we're still introduced. It's been almost an hour.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh, okay. We got. Let's start.
How about Noodle? Did you introduce yourself?
No, I haven't. Hello.
Go ahead.
What do I say?
So
I got a headache.
Oh, yeah, that explains it.
Great introduction.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm an artist. I've been drawing since I was like 12, I think. I'm currently 22, so I just started getting better, I guess, at art. Like I'm actually taking it a little bit more serious and all that. Okay. Okay.
I mean, you're good at art. I'm not gonna lie. Why would
I'm alright. Like, if you see my past shit, I'm slowly getting
you see
there.
my past shit, but of course you're better. I don't know. I really like the way you draw.
I think if you look at all our past shit, it's just a cringe party.
If I think of the stuff I was drawing in the beginning, oh my god.
Yeah. So keep going, Noodle. Sorry. Keep going.
I'm confused when some people tell me that they either look up to me or say that they really like my shit, while in turn their art is actually way better than mine. So it's like, I don't know, it's just weird to me as drawing when people actually say that, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to be modest or anything, but it's, it's shocking. I appreciate it so much though.
No, that's good. All right, so question. All right, what is your favorite anime?
My favorite anime. I have too many, but I could give one.
And tell us why, please.
All right, so why I like Michiko to Hachin is because its English voice acting is top notch. No other anime besides Golden Boy can beat it. I don't care what you guys say, it is good as fuck. And it's only
You want
like
to fight about
13
it?
episodes. What?
You want
Yeah,
to
I wanna
fight about it?
Yeah, I want to fight about it.
All right, that's
But
good.
yeah, it's like 13 episodes. It's really quick to finish, and yeah, it's some good shit.
Why are some of the best animes so short?
Budget.
Yep, yep. All
In
right,
the
so
end, it's
Speaking of anime, do you know that movie? I forgot what it's called. That one director passed like recently. What's the name of the?
he was from Ghibli Studio. I forget his name though, but he was a long time.
It made Paprika.
Wait, he passed away?
The guy that did the one movie of the one girl and her brother, the little girl and her brother, and during the war. I forgot what movie it was called. I don't know.
Grave of the
basically.
Fireflies.
I think yeah. I think that's the one. The guy whom he passed, and it's the real.
I've never seen Grave of the Fireflies. I heard of it so much though.
Yeah, I've never watched it either.
I
I've been meaning to.
I remember
like,
watching
many years ago.
What?
I remember watching Spirited Away when I was a kid, and it gave me like this existential crisis. Like as a child, like it really scared me. I don't know why. It really freaked me out.
Pussy.
What did you say, Largo? I didn't hear you.
I said that I have seen that movie, the Firefly's Grave, or however it was called, but it was many years ago, and I don't really remember much. Besides, I think there was a scene when they were. Yeah, I think there was a scene when they were eating watermelon. Watermelon keeps like.
You and your watermelons.
Yeah, it's like that's something about watermelons that's like prominent in my existence. Like there's a watermelon painting staring at me right now because like I framed it recently. Like when I'm like I usually make like mostly digital art, but if I feel very stressed, I paint with watercolors because they are so stressful to work with. So like you start so I like start to stress about to put the colors properly. So I stop to be stressed about the stuff in my life, and that's all of my paintings.
Do you like watch Bob Ross too?
What?
You watch Bob Ross, the painter?
Again with this.
Best girl.
I do remember there was like this time when the Twitch was streaming him for like the 24 hours a day, and I think like me and my friend were like watching it together for some time, but not really. If I want to watch something to get less stressed, then I would watch like painting nails or something like that. Like for some reason, like putting makeup on or like making nails. Like I hate having my nails done. I hate putting makeup on. But like looking at people making looking at pretty people doing pretty stuff to their faces, that kind of like that's very relaxing for me.
You are pretty.
I mean, I am.
But speaking of makeup, sorry, I was just gonna ask her a question. I want to ask you a question. So, you, Largo, specifically, because you're the only girl in this.
Maybe you don't have to be girl to have makeup. That's very sweet of you.
Yeah,
maybe
that's what I wanted to ask you. That's what I wanted to ask you. Do you watch YouTube like of these makeup gurus, like for the gay people, like do you watch them?
Not on my Christmas.
Like some, but I think it's not really like I don't have like specific people that I like. Oh, this is the new video of this person. I will watch it. It's more like I want to watch some makeup. Let's just like type in like makeup tutorial, whatever, and like. So I don't have like my favorite ones. Like there are some that I would watch like more often, but it's more because like the YouTube is pushing them with their algorithm. Yeah, you want to watch more of this person, and I'm like, hey,
YouTube. I don't get them, man.
I can.
All right. Yeah. So sorry, Noodle. Sorry, Noodle. You're still kind of like on the questionnaire here. Yeah. So what is your favorite tablet to use?
All right, so I used a bunch of tablets over the years.
Yeah,
the first one I ever used was a Wacom Bamboo. and it was the ones that looked like the Intuos. And it was actually really good. The thing is that the surface was like really rough, so like the pen nibs would like wear out super quick. After that, I upgraded to an Intuos Pro. Yeah, it was an Intuos Pro Small. Such a good ass tablet. I'm so sad.
It is.
Yeah.
But I've been using that for like the longest. And after that, I'm currently using a Wacom Cintiq 12WX. And the one I used after that was an Artist 22 HD, and it fucking sucked. So I sold that back, and I still use the Wacom Cintiq.
That's good. Do you have any artistic pet peeves?
Good one.
It's so hard to describe it without drawing it. But I really fucking hate when people do like this angle where it shows the ass, but it also shows like the bare chest.
Oh,
You guys know what I'm talking
How
about,
dare
right?
you?
Yeah, instantly.
I hate it so much.
How dare you? I like that angle.
You hate what? You hate what?
So ugly.
What is? What is? What is? I didn't hear you.
When they showed like the bare ass, but also showed the bare tits and everything.
Like Barbie?
It makes them look very no. Okay, so it's in a certain angle, so it looks like their spine is like snapped.
yeah.
I don't know what this would look like. This doesn't sound possible.
I don't really understand.
I guess
It sounds like
Wait. I think the
it
angle
doesn't
you're
sound right.
describing. I think the angle you're describing is basically partially bent over, like the complete back of the person.
Either that, or they're
Like-
turning around. Like they have their ass facing you, but they're turning around. But you also see like both their tits, and it's just like that's not anatomically possible. What the fuck are you doing?
That okay. While I do admit that is anatomically incorrect and somewhat gross, I still find it appealing.
I mean, hey man, to each their own, I guess. And I think another pet peeve I have is like when people complain about characters with huge tits. It's like, can you fucking relax as a drawing? Like her back ain't hurting. Chill.
Calm down, son. It's just a drawing.
But that kind of contradicts my last statement. So I don't know. Maybe I'm being hypocritical. I mean, I definitely don't give a fuck.
So yeah.
Just a drawing. No, it's a passion.
So Kat, you're the
It's
last
a
one.
religion.
Please do tell us, Kat.
Well,
Yeah?
what do I tell you? I've been
Your
zoning
name,
out here off
what
and
are
on.
you? Who are you?
I don't. I'm a total rando. I don't know how I even got here, but I did. Now I'm here.
Wait, this is not a Mario Kart contest?
I
Pass.
the most artistic thing I've made in probably the past 5 years was something in MS Paint for traditional games, and that's about it.
I'm proud of you.
Proud of you, son.
I'm not much. Yeah, I'm definitely not much of an artist. What are the other questions?
You may not be an artist, good sir, but your voice is a work of art.
Yeah, so like, what do you you commission artists? Am I correct?
I'm still waiting on I'm still waiting to get a commission going because my friend wanted one, but he hasn't drawn out his character sheet yet, and I keep telling him to. So what is it? It's about 2 months later. Getting to it eventually. Well, he should be getting to it. So I'm waiting on that, sitting on my hands, waiting for this.
Doesn't it bother you how some artists, like, I mean, okay, I'm gonna not be a hypocrite. I am these artists that take like years to do a commission. I know. I'm sorry, Sonic.
That's me.
What?
That's me. I'm an artist who like takes so long to do a commission, right, Sonic?
I mean, this is my this is my very first commission. And I'm just still waiting on it. Well, I'm still waiting for them to get it done so I can send it to him specifically, because, geez, it's fucking taking forever.
But like, okay, yes.
No, nothing. You keep talking.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, as an artist, I the reason why it takes so long to do like one drawing or like maybe some of them is because like you know, stuff goes on in my life. And, sometimes I feel pressured, and that's why I would suggest anyone who's hearing this and you guys as artists to always have like a time limit for the people to know how long it takes you to finish it, so that at least they're aware. Even if like maybe for example you're saying, okay, I'm just gonna finish in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and if you take longer, you're always gonna have to you know, you never know what goes on, so you always have to you always have to what?
I have attention
inform your
deficit
commissioner.
disorder, so
Hmm?
I have attention deficit disorder, so it's kind of fucking hard for me to like keep track of everything.
Yep.
Okay. But to like at least, you know, just update your commissioners, or just put like reminders. Don't procrastinate.
Yeah, the problem I have is like I understand that sometimes like you are not in the mood for drawing, or like you are not you're not physically able to like deliver your commissions fast. That's like totally fine. What I have problem with, like, you can like, okay, you are taking like 2 months, but like you have like some stuff going on, like some stuff with your work, with your school, with your life. That's fine. But if someone is like, for example, having commission that he haven't finished in 2 years, and
That's
they like, but they keep like,
2
oh, I will
years.
post the art that I draw for myself, or like some other unrelated stuff. But when I still like own some people the drawing that they paid for, that I find very like not fair, and that's like, and I know artists that do that, and that's like I just so want to just tell something to them.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I
because,
agree.
Yeah, I really hate that too.
Yeah,
You
because
got
like,
any
yeah,
other
it's
questions for
like
me?
some unrelated stuff like that happens to you, and you have to make the person wait a little more than usual. That's fine. But if you're like doing some other art, and when they are waiting, that's like kind of unfair. Especially if it's not like, okay, I draw one thing for myself and one commission, and like I will eventually go to this one person that waits for so long. That's really offensive to me. And yeah, I actually kind of like lost some like connection with some artists, because like I would be, you know, not nice to them when they would do that. Yeah, I'm a rude person actually. Like I know that
you're not. No, don't say that.
You're not a rude person.
I'm just very good at pretending.
You're not a rude person just because you want to have the stuff you paid for.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, it's not ever. It was never me, but it was just something that was really annoying me, because usually if I get like commissioned to do something, I'm someone that deliver very fast usually, unless like something that unrelated, like that I have no control over happens. Like I don't ever like I used to like I sometimes joke that I don't have time for the for having art blocks. I would just like I don't understand the concept of art block, because I would just draw with an art block anyway, even if I like don't feel like drawing, and I really feel like whatever I do is like disgusting, because like I still know that it's not true. Like I still know that people will be like content with what I'm doing, so I don't really allow myself to this. To I don't allow myself to have like this extra taking this extra weeks or something to deliver. Like usually, like, some people are very like surprised because they like pay for the commission, and then like 2 days later it's like, hey, I have this painting that should take like 20 hours. I already have it finished, and I'm very proud of myself. And they're like, how did you do that? I said, like, I have no idea. I'm just like this amazing.
Yeah, we should all be like that. We should all be proud of what we do, no matter what it is. All of us. We should always like. We shouldn't like. What's the word? Let the art block consume us. If you know what I mean. Yeah. We shouldn't let art. I don't believe in art stuff. I don't feel like this thing should be in my way as an artist. I feel I can always draw whenever I want, however I want, and nobody can tell me no. And not even myself. I cannot. Like I cannot live with.
Okay. So now that we're sorry for cutting, but now that we're good with introductions and all that, let's get into the nitty gritty baboon titty of our situation here. Okay, so let's talk about the first topic that we have here, and that would be Actually, let's change it up a little bit. Now we're talking about commissioners and whatnot. What do you think about, for example, how do you deal with a very rude and unruly commissioner that's asking for really ridiculous things? Like, you ever had those kind of commissioners where they kind of like ask
Starting
really...
with me?
Huh?
Starting with me? Are you starting with me, the question?
Yeah, sure.
It's more like an open thing, but okay.
Okay,
I was one.
Okay, so commissioners, I'm gonna tell you the short story. I had an auction, okay? And basically, the auction was over and the guy paid. So the guy originally was about to commission me, and I offered him the commission instead. So I was like, I offered him the auction instead, and he's like, yeah, sure, we can go with the auction, and he paid for the auction as well. So I was like, okay, sure. And then I started updating him with the auction, doing this, doing that. I blame myself for taking a bit longer than expected, because he was like begging me to finish, and like it was during the time of during my finals, I believe. I'm not sure when that was exactly. Anyways, so he was very rude towards me. He actually contacted PayPal and like made them make me send him a refund.
Chargeback.
Yeah, chargeback. Yeah. So I was like, what the hell?
Oof.
And I was like, why would you do this? And he's like, because you didn't deliver. And I'm like, I'm updating you. I'm talking to you literally every fucking day. What is wrong with you? And then, so amazing. And then I was like, why are you doing this to me and stuff like that? And then whatever. And then I was fed up with him. I sent him the auction, the drawing, whatever. And then what this did, he sent it to another artist, and the artist drew over it and uploaded it on Derpy. And I had no idea about it. And I was like so mad with him. And then he told me to make up for your, for you taking long, draw me another thing. I was like, okay. And then I was drawing for him.
No.
I was drawing for him. And then in the stream, he's like, look, that's my girlfriend's work. I'm like, hey, what girlfriend? What are you saying? I'm not your girlfriend. And he's like, yeah, you are. I'm just like, what the fuck? He's so weird. I swear to God. And then I immediately contacted your character here, these administrators and stuff. And I was telling him how rude he was towards me. How he was so rude. He was a pain in the ass. Yeah, he was. He was very creepy.
At least he wasn't me. That was worse.
Okay. Yes.
Right.
So everybody, tell me your
done,
experience. Yeah, sure I am.
Okay,
What about
so
the
who's
others?
next? Who will talk about their cringy commissioner experiences?
Start with you, Tally.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, fuck. Hold on. Gotta think here. I don't think I've ever had a anything really outrageous. Nothing like white kitten level of atrocity. Yeah. But I think one of there was one commissioner, I forgot their name, but they wanted me to draw their OC with like large breast, right? And I was like, oh, okay, fine. And I dropped a fucking pair of triple fucking D's on this bitch, and apparently they're like, oh no, it has to be bigger. I was like, oh, okay. So I did another. I tripled the size. And got to the point where I was like, yeah, if this bitch for real, she'd be snapping in half by now. but apparently that wasn't good enough for him either. And I was like, okay. Like what are you talking about here? Like if I make him any bigger, then all you're gonna have is just breast and upper torso and her head. And then you can't see anything else. Yeah, I was like, it's just I'm trying to, you charged me like, you didn't charge me, but I charged them like, it was like $40 for it. Wow. But at that point, I was like, is this really worth it? Like, I don't want this attributed to me, because it was so grotesque. And I told them, no, I'm gonna stop it right here. And so I kind of like I went back a little bit, and I just made them. They're not that big, but still reasonably, unreasonably large. And after that, I was like, I just didn't want to have my name on this, so I removed my my watermark. I just gave it to him. I just didn't want this.
This image officially doesn't exist.
Yeah. But yeah, it wasn't really, like I said, it wasn't that bad or anything. It was just like they kept adding and adding to it, and I was like, but I like the stuff they added on kind of went above what they actually paid for. So I was like, you're gonna have to pay me a little more if you want all this other stuff. You know, especially having city-sized titties. That's a fucking extra $40 right there. So I wasn't gonna do it.
That's some good shit though.
Yeah. But anyway, also the color.
What about...
the color of this fur. Oh, this fucking red, really, really fucking saturated red. It was horrendous.
So what about you other guys? I mean, Tally, yours is like crazy.
All right, Noodle, your turn next, my friend.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be generous with you. I'm gonna be genuine with you.
Can
I
I
really had a bad. Sure.
Hmm?
I never really had a bad experience. It was mostly my fault for taking too long and shit. So that's pretty much it, really.
So you were the problem, not them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What about Led?
Well,
Led,
no,
you did commission. Yeah, what?
I was about to say, like, there was this one guy that was actually being a piece of shit. I kept telling him, like, dude, if you're gonna act smug, I'm gonna act smug back. And then he goes, oh, well, I want a refund. I was like, okay, cool, I don't fucking care. And he starts fucking crying, saying, no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. Like, okay, what the fuck?
Yeah, nice backpedal, my dude.
I still have the sketch of the drawing. I have yet to finish it.
Is he still gonna pay you for it?
He paid me like a year ago.
Oh, no.
Don't worry, he'll get it eventually.
Long ass time ago.
Yeah, eventually.
2020, yeah.
Okay.
Like,
Who else? Memeius, you can go ahead and tell us your little story.
I have been. I don't do commissions and such. So.
Okay. I'll go fuck myself then. Okay.
no,
next.
I'm saying Led because he
Tasty.
had commission experience.
I didn't really have any. I had a total of something like, I think, 5 commissions in all time. And to have a bad person, and that would be a pretty bad rate.
1 out of 5.
Yeah,
not happy with you.
like 4 out of 5. Get the fuck out of here.
All right, Largo, you're next.
Okay, so I don't think I have like a bad, like annoying person that commissioned me or something like that. I do have a story that was like kind of, I wasn't expecting and I wasn't ready for, because like I did some like mature stuff, like mature paintings and mature like art and like with some like adult themes and stuff. And
yeah, not
okay, not safe for work. And this one person asked me, "Hey, can you draw me a person like, you know, in nude, very like." And I was fine, yeah, I do that. And like so we were like talking about how they want it to look like, and then they're like, "Oh, but like there's one more thing. I want them so that you would put on the picture like the collection of dildos that I have," and send me like a folder of pictures of all the dildos. That
Oh my god!
Wait, I zoned out for a second. Wait, what happened?
Like, he told her to send
I somewhere didn't get the connection between I have to draw stuff and dildo collection and a photo of pictures.
Yes.
Oh gosh, I feel so bad for you. You're probably like shocked. Yeah.
I drink
No,
to forget, but I always remember.
But I was like, whatever, I can do that. Like it wasn't like there was like the picture of the toys. Like so fine, whatever, I can do that. So I did that commission.
I feel so very bad for you.
Unexpected, because like, you know, like it was one thing to like get, hey, I want like a adult toy on a picture, and the other thing is like, hey, this is the picture of exact the toy I really want on this picture. It was kind of weird. But yeah, but the person was very nice and like very generous as well. So like I am not complaining. But it was just something like I wasn't expecting that.
Better than nothing.
Yeah, that's my story.
Generous man with the dildo collection.
I mean, like,
or
whatever
female.
you like.
Not
that was a male person wanting a drawing of a female.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to ask all of you a question. It's really, really important.
Wait. I didn't tell my story yet.
Hold
Yes.
on.
Oh, go on.
Tell the story.
Sonic?
Oh, Sonic. Oh, hello.
Yeah, I'm still
Hello,
here.
you're still here.
Oh,
God.
Oh.
been an hour.
You guys forgot I was here, didn't you?
No. What?
You've been silent.
No.
Sonic, come on. Go on.
Anyway, to be honest, I've been trying to get commissions, but no, since I'm not really popular as Curly or Artrix, to be honest, I haven't really gotten any commissions, so I don't have any commission stories. But I think I do have one art story.
Yes.
Actually, basically, I was doing an art of drawing an OC's pony. He gave me some details, and I drew it the best way I could. Basically, he said, "No, actually, this is how I wanted it specifically." And then he asked me, and then I asked him, could you go into more detail about what it is? And he's like, I already gave you the details. And I said, yes, but what you're asking apparently is not enough. So do you have any more details? And he just kept saying, no, what I gave you is enough. So I just continued anyway, doing the best I can, fixing it. And basically, he just went, okay, you're not listening to me. And I said, well, you're not giving me enough information, and what you gave me is not enough. And he kept arguing, saying, yes, it is. Yes, it is. If other people can get like he has multiple variations of this commission of his OC, and he claims that a lot of other commissions he got were correct, and apparently I was the only one getting it wrong. So, okay, so basically, and remember, this is a request. Back when I was just doing random requests for fun, like I wasn't making money off of this. And basically, I just said, all right, I'm just going to fix this one more time. If you're still not happy with it, I'm just going to give up. And he was like, all right. So I tried it one more time. He was not happy with it. And so I just decided to give up, and he never made contact with me again. Yeah, so apparently,
my life story.
Yeah, he gave me detailed information, but apparently what I was doing wasn't specific enough that he wanted. And I asked him for more specifics, but he claimed that what he gave me was enough and that I wasn't trying hard enough, which kind of pissed me off a little bit.
Yeah, it's pretty hard, like, to cope with these people who are asking for very specific things, and then you do not have the capability to do it, or don't understand it quite frankly enough, and then they're just like, no, and stuff, and they complain. And
right. Anyway, I do want to apologize for what I said earlier. That story you made, was I worse than that guy? Oh, I'm curious.
What do you mean? Of course not. You're my friend, Sonic. I mean, I'm talking about a random guy that I really don't even know anything about. Like, seriously, can you imagine? He's like so disrespectful to me. Seriously, I would never that's why I don't. That's why from then on I learned to never trust people as fully and like be open-hearted and like, is that feeling?
So you don't trust me anymore?
Sonic, God damn it! Sonic, no, don't mess with me. Anyway, so a question for all of you, and I want all of you to answer in no matter what order. What do you think about the artists who trace and take money from it?
Well, I trace.
Well, first of all, you're a disgusting piece of shit, and I really don't think you should be taking money from anybody if you're gonna start tracing.
Well, sorry, let me rephrase that. First off, that's rude, please. And second, I used to trace, but then I'm starting to do my own stuff. So, okay.
But again, no, getting money from it,
You're getting money from it.
No,
I wasn't getting money
commissions.
from it.
Okay, then that's different. That's
yeah,
different.
we're talking about like blatantly tracing someone else's artwork and selling it for profit.
Like you're making $10, $20, $30 for art, and you're tracing everything.
No, you shouldn't trace it. Okay, I don't do that. Like, I used to do that back in high school. I didn't sell it. I just did it for fun. But I believe that tracing for money, that is wrong. Tracing for practice and inspiration, I think.
That's right.
That's okay. It's something but I'm not like saying have you ever people do it? What are your thoughts?
I think you should only do it to practice your art style and then move on to your own significant style.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah. Trace to learn.
Okay. Next
yes,
question.
So, yes.
In a medieval-styled longsword battle between Doxy and
God damn it, Tally! Please don't do this. I don't want to drag all the fans. Come on, please don't.
What happened?
Okay,
He's
okay.
I get the
insisting on
reference.
talking about Doxy
Okay,
and
okay,
Slugbox.
Sorry, sorry.
Come on.
I was
come on.
saying like
Fuck you.
Hold on, I want to hear where this goes.
Okay, okay. So I was okay. All right. Who has the most copycat leashes, Doxy or Slugbox?
Stuff for all ass.
Tally, why do you want this to happen?
Slugbox generic copycats, like so many of them.
There are gonna be copycats here and there.
Slugbox?
Yeah.
I mean, that's another thing that we could talk about. Any sort of artist that takes very direct inspiration from another artist's work, is that
I'm gonna be
still...
completely honest with you.
I mean, what would you guys think of that?
I don't care about that. I don't really count that as the same way as like tracing.
I mean, not
by the
all
end of
art
the day,
styles can look their
different.
own thing. There's so much, but
Yeah, there's
So as
so
long
many
as you-
different art styles that.
As long as you know what you're doing and you're using your own skills and shit, I don't care.
I mean,
Yeah,
as long as the art looks good, and as long as you're not tracing, and that's
Wasn't
really
it
what matters.
Slugbox that was
steal
threatening
from
lawsuits
many, not
left
from
and
one.
right? I think it was Slugbox actually that was like threatening lawsuits left and right about the copycat artists that are like mimicking his style and stealing his work.
Is
I
this
think-
Slugbox
I
the guy
think
that
Mim-
actually distributed the art, like refs and shit that people could just use outright?
I
Or that
think
could be
that's,
toxic, I don't know.
that's kind of what it is. It's mimicking the style to some degree and not like totally copying it. If I'd say I never would have known Curly or ever seen some art of her, and I happened to be the exact same style developed over the years. This could just be something, and if I subconsciously saw something of her and was like, "Oh, that's awesome," and got the style of her, that's still not copying or stealing, since I did my own drawings and did my own stuff with it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's
I
see.
think it
What
would
else is
be
on the
like,
list?
but I think it would be like very hard to copy someone's style like exactly without like
You're
being
still
like
gonna learn how to do it.
without putting your own stuff in it. Yeah.
aware, but like not without being aware of that. So like I think like if someone is like say that there's like the like very popular artist and he's like commission from him or her would be like few hundred $, and then there would be person, hey, I can do like the same style but like for way cheaper. That I would find very like not fair to to be advertising like, hey, I draw in the style of this person in this way.
Yeah,
So
that's
but if it's like something like, hey, I really like how this person, for example, shade the skin or like draw the hair or something like that, and I apply this style to like mimic it, but it's not like it's only like one aspect, or like I still throw something mine to the mix. It's like, okay, so like I paint the skin the same as like this artist because I really enjoy the way she or he or they do it, and I want to do something similar, but still like, for example, the silhouette of my characters or the way I drew the background and stuff like that is different, then I think it's like it's okay. But like if you're like if you are like trying to look like art made by someone else, that's kind of like, why would you even do that? That's like just, it's not the aspiration that you should have.
Oh. Okay, so on this topic of sort of controversy, let's see. Actually,
Yes.
no, we'll get to that last. Next questions is what's more important for your artwork, quantity or quality?
Yes. What is it?
I think
I thought that answer was like, do you like quantity or quality? Yes.
Yeah. For my part,
Yeah, I
I
was
think
like-
it's more about if you want to learn or if you want to sell stuff. Like if you want to learn how to do things, I think it's more important that you draw a lot more than use a lot of time to put into details and such. While if you sell stuff, it's more
And do you think
to
that
time to
yeah.
details.
do you think that the quality of the okay, so like a question. So like if an artist works so hard on doing one piece, I mean, oh, we've all been there maybe. Works so hard on getting one piece done and like it doesn't get enough attention. Whereas I do a sketch and it gets like thousands of reblogs. Isn't that annoying?
Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah, but
I learned to live with it.
I think the best to describe what is better quantity or quality is actually looking at the goal you have, because you the best is putting a lot of effort into your pictures in almost all of them, because if you have a bad picture out there in the internet, it's always there and you're always going to be recognized with it. And that's why you should put at least as much quality into it as you're willing to put into it. But you also have to put some quantity to your drawings and put some out of there, or people are starting to forget about you. So that's just to have just a running channel or Tumblr blog. You have to get kind of both things.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
So speaking about art block, Curly, you mentioned earlier you don't believe it's real.
Yes, I don't.
That's like people who say depression isn't real. Just
Yeah. Come on.
Yep.
No, I'm just saying.
It is very real.
Saying,
Curly.
like, I
Art
don't
block is
believe
very
in
real.
it personally.
What is she not believing?
Robot.
Art block.
No, I'm just saying. Like, I'm not. No, I mean in general, because I don't believe in something that puts me down as an artist. Why would I want like something to ruin the art that I do, that I put into the work, everything.
Wait, you're talking in more of a personal experience then, right? Not in a general sense.
Yeah.
What?
You're talking more of a personal sense and a general sense, right?
Oh, I'm being objective.
Subjective?
Yeah, I think that's what, maybe, I don't know, like maybe some of you think, oh, I'm feeling down, I don't want to draw. Because like me, I'm a person
there are days where
motivator. What?
There are days where I physically can't just draw, like, I'll do circles and shit and shapes and I just can't do it. It'll happen. And usually what I do is just not worry about it.
I'm not saying I don't respect that, guys. Though I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm just saying I'm just like I'm not like you guys to
no, like I get your point of view of all of it. It's just that in my case, in my personal viewpoint, is that I just let it go. I just don't draw, because if I force myself to keep drawing, I'm just gonna like get more frustrated.
Yeah,
it's okay to take breaks.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's not okay. Yeah, it's like just like I like to draw here and there, sketch and do stuff, all that type of thing. But yeah. So one last question I'd like to ask some all of you is are there any groups that you're in, like maybe your favorite artists and stuff? Like, do tell. Are you in any groups? Are you in any groups? Are you in any art groups or something with like your favorite artists, for example?
I think
for the ones that Tally dragged me in.
Yeah, I think it's Tally server.
Yeah, like do you have like this one, or do you have like this one artist that you look up to and you're like keeping up with them? Like me.
I was thinking today about nowadays all of them are dead.
Noodle boy here.
Yeah, Noodle is pretty good.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, you know how many furry Instagram fucking pages repost your artwork? Too
Dude,
many.
Do you know how many people post my shit on 4chan?
They love it, man.
Yeah. Speaking about that, I've had people come to me on YouTube, a fucking YouTube comment section, telling me that they know the profile picture that I have, which is the picture we did together. Remember the one with where she's like fucking on top of that one guy, and the guy's like tighter babe.
Yeah, pretty much.
Remember that one? I have that as my profile picture on YouTube, and random fucking people on YouTube tell me they know what that picture is.
The thing is that I'm a little shocked that, out of everybody on fucking 4chan, they actually like my shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's your formula. You have a really nice formula when it comes to what you actually draw and how you do it. Yeah, you draw, schmexy things, but it's the way you draw Isabel.
Shit posty.
Yeah, it's a shit posting kind of thing. you're making Isabel like this fucking like hardcore alcoholic and like a miserable person and all this other shit. It's really out of the box thinking. I don't know. I like that style.
So, all right. So
Actually, I'm
Tally,
curious now. How do I find him? I have to find him.
I got a Twitter that I
post
use
your
now.
social media. Post it. So
Alright, give me like 2
Tally,
seconds.
yeah. So Tally, you said you want to ask all of the question. What was it? You said you want to leave it to last. Curious.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, actually, how can I word this? The question I had in mind was, who would win in a medieval-styled sword fight, Doxy or this guy? But I'm not gonna. No, hold on. So I'm not gonna do that. Instead, I'm going
Jedi.
I'm going to ask, like, what are your favorite feuds when it comes to artists? You ever seen one of those? It happens every now and then when it comes to different artists. Like, there's always this drama and whatnot. What's your favorite kind of drama when it comes to our community?
All right, so I don't know if you ever heard of this guy, but his name is Ben the Looney.
No, haven't heard.
No, I've never heard him.
He's some shitty cartoonist on YouTube or what the fuck, and I always fuck with this kid, and he always manages to fall for this shit. And if it's not him, it's his little cock sucking fans and shit. And I never. Here's the thing. He draws like fucking quote unquote aged up children, and I don't even say anything. At one point, I just said, "Yeah, she's 12." I didn't say a thing. I didn't call him a pedophile. I didn't call him a creep. I didn't say what she did was wrong. All I said was, "She's 12, dude." You had 2 people tell me I don't know what I'm talking about.
Why did you even say that?
Because I like fucking with this kid. It's just that simple. I just like fucking with him.
Wait,
You cruel son of a bitch.
So they start crying and shit, telling me, "Oh, but they're not real." And I'm like, I'm not complaining if they're real or not. I'm just saying she's fucking 12. Like, I'm not calling him a pedophile. Do you want me to call him a pedophile?
Oh my god.
This ongoing thing, and I might be a little bit rude on this. I personally don't care, but I do redline his shit just to show him, hey, dude, this is where you can like maybe improve, maybe change some things up, considering you are taking money and you haven't improved since like 2015. Like, I'm helping you out here, but it's like it takes one of his like quote unquote best friends to say something, and he goes, "Oh, maybe I do need to change something." I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, if I could mention my favorite artist.
Sorry, Sonic, you're up.
I have several favorite artists. One of them is Curly.
Oh gosh, why?
Even though, and I mean absolutely no disrespect, I cannot commission her anymore. Her art is really great.
What do you mean?
Well, that's a little bit of a personal topic. I'm not sure if we should discuss it here.
Okay. All right.
Very well.
Anyway, my favorite. There have been several artists I do like. Three Mangoes, Sereno. A lot of some people told me I should appreciate Kevin Sano, but he's good, but he's not my favorite.
Did you say Kevin Sano?
Yeah, Kevin Sano. Okay.
He sounds like a wrestler.
Tally!
Kevin Sano. No, he sounds like a wrestler.
Okay. Do you guys have a problem with me saying it like that?
No. I think it's hilarious.
Good.
I think it's great.
Anyway, my absolute favorite artist would be. I don't think you guys. I showed his blog his art a couple times in here, but his name is B Main Art.
Never heard of him.
He's just I can show something he recently made in the art channel if you like. Okay, it could take a while. Anyway, yeah, I like Damien art because his art style is kind of cute, also really cute. That's the best word I can look for it. I don't know how to describe it. I have to show you.
Sure.
His favorite stuff to draw is Shantae. So I've noticed that.
The belly dancer?
Yes.
Oh, I really like
Yeah.
that character, design-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty nice.
Hold on. Hang on. Let me see if I can get the picture.
Hmm.
Copy image.
Keep talking, guys. This is a broadcast.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No.
Okay. Sorry. Everyone, go
I'm
to the
gonna
art
take that
tab.
trip.
That's his art style.
Oh, okay.
All right. Then
Oh,
Hold
we're
on, let
gonna
me
link it in
peep
the
it. Where is it?
description. Please, guys, subscribe to Radio Rothingham and leave down the comments below if you have any questions. And yeah, we're Artrix, my friend, does amazing broadcasts. So I'm not sponsored, but yeah.
Yeah, if you want to
Not
find
yet.
that sweet horse smegma, just hit us up. We know exactly where to get the good. Just press the
Okay,
like,
this
the like
video is
button.
sponsored by Febreze Peace.
For not to mention Febreze vape now. It comes in vape form.
The new Tide Pods.
You want your lungs to have that
Whoa.
fresh Febreze smell.
Right. Anyway, you guys seen the art tab? What do you think of the art?
It
Cute.
looks rather it looks
Kitty.
I'll
No,
be
it's not
honest, it looks
bad.
basic for
rather
me.
cartoony.
Yeah, it's
I
a bit
missed
cartoony.
something.
I've
What are we
actually
talking about?
what?
It just kind of looks like basic
The art's
art.
okay.
It doesn't seem to pop. If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to pop, but
I like
what
the
about it,
face.
it's cute.
I mean, yeah, it's cute.
Yeah, there are some styles that there's some stuff that looks kind of inadequately incorrect. Like at one time, I actually commissioned him to draw Mod Pie from MLP, but he drew the shoulder wrong. But apparently I didn't see the mind. Like I'm the kind of person who likes a picture based on the looks rather than the anatomy of the character, which I know is not really a good thing to have, but
I mean, that's a preference kind of thing.
it's a preference. It's a preference that I have. You know, I've actually told this to some people. Like, I like it when a picture looks good instead of being it correct. And they have called me on that, saying that I am a miserable piece of shit that doesn't understand art.
Hmm.
No, it's
They're
just
weird,
a
avoid
way
them.
of
Art
seeing
is
things.
subjective
I'm
anyway.
I'm a media designer as a job, and we have like guidelines for what should be and how it should be, because this is how people react to it in normal. But it doesn't help if you go by these guidelines, but it doesn't look good.
You just need to learn the fundamentals and learn how to like mess with them. Really, to be honest with you, like if you have a head that's going to be bigger than the rest of the body, you better make sure it actually works. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
As an artist, you know, I actually started. As I said, when I first started out as an artist, I basically started tracing because I needed to get my own art style and base myself off that. The way I did my art style is okay. You know how most artists always just try to appease people, like go for what the commissioner wants and do the best they draw. I started out on the philosophy that I draw whatever I like, and if nobody liked it, too bad. It's my art style. I evolved from that. And decided to go half and half. Like do something that I like, and if I'm doing something like a commission or a request, I do it the way I like. And if the commissioner or requester doesn't like it, I do my best to change it in the way I compromise between what I want and what the person wants.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I used to be the same way where I just say I draw whatever I like, and that's just it. I don't listen to anybody else. But recently, I've actually been asking people like, "Hey, should I fix this? Is there anything to be fixed?" Yada yada yada. And if as soon as I get like 30 different opinions and all of them, it's pretty much leveled at the same way. Like, yeah, it's pretty good. Then I'll just leave it as is, basically.
That's
But
good.
I always ask for like second opinions and shit now.
All right. I think when it comes to art drama, the one that really kind of hit me the most personally was this one guy. I forgot his name. He was an animator. Like it was like this is like 2 years ago or something. He made this one animation with Twilight, and apparently he had traced it from this other. What was his name? I forgot his name. Frick.
Oh,
I forgot his name, but anyway. So he
Zodiac.
traced it, right? And yeah, so Zodiac, that guy. and he traced it, and it was really blatant about it too. And yeah, sure, like it all went to it all went to hell in a handbasket. He got in trouble. He was called out. However, he instead of people saying, hey, that's pretty shitty thing of you to do, just cite the artist, give art credit to the artist, which he did.
What did it tell him to come?
And hold on, let me get to it. So what happened was that eventually there was a mob mentality thing going on, and it got to the point where he couldn't even properly work on anything. Didn't matter if it was his own original artwork or not. And he pretty much was people got to him to the point where he just gave up entirely on artwork. And for me is yeah, sure, I never defended what he did. I think it was really disgusting, and it was just kind of like it was unethical pretty much what he did, just copying that animation. But to his credit though, it wasn't like a commission or anything. It was his own personal work. But the point is I'm trying to get to is it okay to pretty much get onto someone to the point where they just completely just stop doing artwork because they did this one little tracing piece? I don't know. It's hard to explain because I talked to him and whatnot, and I kept trying to push him to get back into doing artwork, but every time he did, he got this wave of people pretty much just yes.
No, go on.
Yeah, he got like a wave of people pretty much, calling him out, telling him, oh, he's traced this piece. So even though I watched him draw it myself, scratch. And it got to the point where this mob mentality ruined him as an artist. And for me, it's always kind of been one of those things where, was it really deserved? Did he really deserve this?
No,
I
but
feel
kind of can't
I feel
control it.
he doesn't deserve it, but at the same time, it's like you just gotta.
Yeah,
leave
sure.
it, you know
Yeah,
what I
sure.
mean?
Being called out and all that, like, yeah, that's rightfully deserved. But to the point where people
They took it too far.
Yeah, they took it too far, way too far. It's to the point where he just quit as an artist, and it's a shame. He was a very, very good, talented artist. I wanted him for my art packs, but
Yeah, but you can't control it because it's so many people, and if nobody that is not him at some point says we have to stop, it's going on forever until it's too late.
yeah, yeah. And I did what I could. I really tried, but I just couldn't help him. And he ended up just completely just disappearing. I have no idea where he is now.
Yeah, that's
I talked to him recently though.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. I can
Is
give
he
you his
still doing
Discord
artwork?
later. Yeah. Yeah, he is under a different name, but
course.
he's not like uploading stuff, posting stuff. But yeah,
That's what I told him. He was
since,
like, that's what I told him not to do because he wanted to like disappear and get a different name. And I'm like, you're really dumb. Do you really think they won't recognize your art style?
Actually,
Your art style is your name.
People
I
have, like,
forget what
their art
artist it
style.
was. You remember Plague of Gripes, right?
Yeah.
Oh
He has a couple alternate accounts where he posts actual porn.
Okay, I'm
But
sorry to ask,
I
but
can't fucking find them. I find the images, but I can't find the account specifically.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but who is this artist again?
Plague of
Who?
Gripes.
Who?
Two best friends.
Two best friends. Oh, two best friends. Oh, the guy behind Two Best Friends?
No, it's this bald, creepy guy out in the boonies, but he makes really, really good art.
Okay. To be honest, I'm half paying attention to this and half paying attention to my game.
Yeah, it's the same thing, but I'm on K.
All right.
Oh
then,
wait, yeah, the guy that always complains about Dragon Ball Z and shit, and some of the complaints make fucking sense.
That's
I
the
don't
one.
know who that is.
All right.
I thought everybody knew who Plague was.
I know who he is.
Yeah, I was just fucking with you.
Good.
So do
You'll
you
do
guys
like
want
this.
anything else to close, like to talk
Well,
about?
Wait, how much time do you have left?
Well, Channel
Like a few
Austin's
minutes.
dying.
Like a
Okay.
few minutes.
Can we talk about a
Yeah.
topic I brought up?
What's the time right now? What's the timer at?
We have 8 minutes.
Oh shit. Okay.
So in 8 minutes, let's talk about anything.
Oh, okay.
Channel
Cat.
Austin's dead, finally.
Wait, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Who, me?
Okay, well, what kind of art programs do any of the artists? What art
Oh,
programs do you use?
yeah.
Clip Studio
Oh.
Paint.
Clip Studio Paint.
I use Clip Studio Paint for painting and coloring, and I use Paint Tool Sci for lining and sketching. But I also
I
use
use
That's
Sketching for
cheating.
for
That's
sketching.
cheating.
In
I use
Pixel R
Sun.
for touch-up.
I used to use Windows Paint, and then I switched to a free one that no one has ever heard of called Medibang Paint Pro. Apparently, no
Oh,
one's heard
I
of
Paint's a
used
good
that
aesthetic.
before actually.
Yeah, and then I switched to Photoshop.
What about Fire Alpaca?
Never heard of it.
heard that one's
It's
pretty
made
okay.
by the same people.
When I actually did drawings before my tablet broke, I used Paint Tool Sci, but at work, and I think I will switch to that when I get a new tablet, will be Photoshop and or Illustrator.
I have a shit ton of programs I just don't use. I have Photoshop CC, I got Photoshop CS6. I just never use those. I only use those for like editing photos if I need to make them larger and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only
Which is
have them
good.
for school.
Because after I'm done with this small project, I'm gonna like make it into like a wallpaper because people want it as one. So I was like, okay.
Oh,
So what are your thoughts on Photoshop being a rental?
Stupid. It makes no fucking sense. I might as well just buy the shit or just pirate it. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's so many.
I never
cracks out there,
pirated
like-
anything ever in my life.
See, I
are-
technically didn't pirate it.
Well,
I
what you
got
got to
the
do is take
program.
advantage of a Russian proxy and then pay with it in
Pay in
rubles, and then
rubles.
you'll get it for like $3.
I just use a
I
crack.
got it from
That's all I
free from
use.
school and such.
Largo, what do you use? Oh wait, she's not.
No. I am.
Yeah.
I'm awake, I swear.
Lately, mostly like the Clip Fine Studio, whatever the thing
Studio
you are
Paint.
using.
We're all mostly using Clip Studio, right?
Yeah, I think
Mostly.
there was this one time when it was really cheap and everyone got it, and it was like, hey, it's kind of good. Like because I think like I got it like because I didn't get to talk about the art group stuff. I had like group of friends that's like we met on a drawing role play group and like but some of them are like amazing artists that are like professional. And I do remember like one time one of them was like, hey, this program is very cheap right now, quick, buy it. So I bought it and I liked it. But yeah, I also like
art
Photoshop.
friend told me about it, so I got it.
Mhm.
But do some of you have the EX version?
No.
I have the Pro version.
Yeah, I have the Pro too because I don't know if it's worth to upgrade.
It
But
gives you unlimited frames for animation. That's literally all it is.
Yeah, because I want to go into animation. So
You don't need it. That's all I gotta say. You don't need it.
I'm looking at it right now. I might want to get this.
It's funny because I actually bought Manga Studio 5 when it was just called Manga Studio 5.
I
That was
got
the
Manga
only
Studio
off-program
when I
purchase.
got tablet, but then they changed the name and such.
That's cool. Oh,
I
one
didn't
last
know
thing I
this
gotta
was the
say
same
before-
program.
Yeah, what is it, Tally?
Oh, okay. So one last thing I gotta say before it all ends. I cannot wait for our fucking packs to be pirated to shit this year.
Oh god.
It happened last
Wasn't
year.
one of them
it
was like
happened this year
wasn't
again.
one of them like OCs?
Huh?
Wasn't one of them like OCs or some shit?
Yeah, it's still in the process, but the main ones are coming out this summer and the Halloween one and the possibly the winter pack as well. Yeah, they're gonna get pirated to fuck. Oh god. Last year this one guy, I don't know who it was, but he opened his account, put them on hentai was it or something, and he uploaded the entire fucking thing, and then disabled his account, so we can't reach him. And we can't reach the mods either, but this year it's going to be different. We're going to actually have the mods in contact. So if it happens, we'll be taking them down left and right.
I forgot eHentai existed.
Yeah.
Because I think I
That shit
used
ever.
that as like my very first like porn source ever, and that was like ancient stuff.
Yep.
That was like stuff from like the very early 2000s. It was like shitty, like MS Paint porn.
Remember how difficult it was to find video porn back in the Stone Age of the early 2000s?
I remember going to Red Panda.
I gotta
looking
figure
at
something
hentai.
I thought it was the 90s that was hard to find porn.
Well, one thing is that it's probably a hard thing to do, but you could like write the code on every every page for like different people. So if someone posted it, you would know who did it. But that's some hard shit to do. Though.
Right.
Depends on how many gets it.
All right. Well, are we good, Curly?
Yes.
Okay.
We all
So
done?
outro.
Oh yes. Okay. So thank you all, my co-hosts, for joining this podcast. We're going to be ending it now. And please subscribe to Radio Rothingham and comment down below what you think about this episode. This is the 100th episode, and it's one of the best one yet. No offense, Star Treks. And,
Comment what art programs you use.
Yeah. Go ahead. Like,
please don't forget to subscribe, like this button. Can we hit it to 5,000 likes? Jake Paul every day, bro. I'm joking.
You forgot about the bell icon. Ring the bell. Get all the notifications.
Yes.
Ring the bell or crusade.
Please subscribe to our tricks. We love our tricks. All of us do, right, guys? Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's listening right now, so yeah, I guess.
Yeah, and no one thought that he's his favorite artist when it was the topic. Like, good job, guys. Good job.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Thank you guys for watching. We love you all so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.
The sneeze.